Okay, hello everyone and welcome back to Injustice 2. In this advanced lesson, we're going to be getting into more character-specific stuff. Right now, or up until this point, most of the character lessons I've done have been kind of applicable for everyone. And now again, we're going to be getting into techniques that are not available to everyone, but are still things that players should know about, I think. The technique we're going to be looking at today are moves called hard to blockables. I mean, they're not even moves, they're more setups. It has kind of a weird name, hard to blockables. The name comes from unblockable, because basically what this is any setup where you will have a move that hits low and overhead at almost the same time. Again, they're called hard to blockables instead of unblockables because technically nothing is unblockable in this game. However, realistically, these are going to be things that no regular player is going to be blocking online and offline either. Like these are pretty much as unblockable as you can get. So there are quite a few characters that have these type of setups. The three main ones are Red Hood, the Joker, and Captain Cold. And even out of those two, Captain Cold is kind of, or those three more like, out of those three, Captain Cold is kind of less significant because his is only available in the corner mainly. However, Red Hood and the Joker are the two main ones. I don't think I'm missing anyone. Darkseid has setups as well, but those are just setups, not necessarily hard to blockables. And of course, who knows what the future holds. There could be more characters that will have techniques like this. However, again, this is more just going to be an explanation of the technique itself. So Red Hood, of course, his mine hits low. He has gunshots that hit overhead. I mean, if you look at this move, if you look at the text, overheads and lows pretty much happen at the same time. Like if I were to record this, which I will do later, I would not be able to block it. Even no matter how much you practice, there's pretty much no consistent way to practice blocking these, because even delaying things a fraction of a second will completely change how you're supposed to block it. Okay, now let's look at some setups. Just like I talked about way back in the Atrocitus video, you want to set up hard to blockables off of strings that can be special cancelled. Like if you do this is a hard knockdown, you do not have enough time. Your opponent can easily get out of this. However, if you end your setup in 1-1-2, yeah, as you can see, by the time your opponent is getting up, they are going to be basically forced to take this mix-up. So again, you always want to end in a string that is special cancelable. This is true both for Red Hood and the Joker and Captain Cold. And after that, pretty much the world is your oyster. You can go for air gunshots with Red Hood. You can go with his string, because if you look at this setup, for example, that's very tricky as well. Like that pretty much hits low and overhead at the same time. You can of course also go for 4-3 and meter burn 4-3, which is actually very important for one reason. And it's pretty much the same with the Joker. You can go for one of his strings. You can go for his 4-3. You can basically do anything. Joker doesn't have an air overhead attack, but Red Hood does. Now, the thing about this technique is, just like anything, it is more powerful in the corner. And the reason for that is because while you have several options to get out of hard to blockables, if I go and switch my character and have Red Hood record just an easy setup just for demonstration purposes. If I go this, alright, so I have that recorded. I'm gonna get hit by it with Superman. As you can see, no matter how hard I try to block, it's pretty much impossible. Okay, so how do you get out of it? Well, you can normal out of it. That's not what I wanted, but you can wake up out of it. If your character has a decent wake up, actually Superman is not the best example of this because I don't think he has the best wake ups overall, but Blue Beetle, for example, even Red Hood himself has a pretty decent wake up. So if your character has a good wake up, you can of course wake up out of it. However, What wake-ups don't help against is meter burn 4-3. Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna get hit by the armor, and Superman is a weird case because Superman gets out because of the way his wake-up travels. Again, maybe Superman was not the best example for this, but again, if I try something else, just kind of for demonstration purposes, you'll see that it doesn't work because the armor will absorb it. So that is why using a meter burn 4-3 is pretty important if you're going to be utilizing this. And of course, the air gun shots are even more of a dick move because you can't even wake up against the air gun shots. Of course, the other option you have, and I realize it was kind of stupid for me to switch again, but you can also backdash. This might seem like a good idea. However, these type of moves always have huge hitboxes. So you can see even if you backdash, you will still have to take the low mine, and the low mine isn't knocked down. You're gonna be in a bad situation again because Red Hood is gonna be on your ass and is just not fun. And again, there are many options that Red Hood can do. He can throw this to stop you from jumping out. There are all sorts of mind games, but the basic idea is that you need to be really careful when you get hit by one of these, because if you pick the wrong move, you wake up or you backdash wrong, you're gonna get hit by it. And Red Hood, for example, cannot, I think, convert his heart to blockables. I'm not like a big Red Hood player, but I'm fairly sure he cannot get much off of it. However, I'll show you the Joker.
The Joker. Blue Beetle. Fighters approaching Metropolis.
Okay, so the Joker is a little bit more problematic because if he gets his teeth out, he can actually get a full combo off of it. So again, this whole situation just becomes even more dangerous because not only do you have to deal with the situation that's pretty much impossible to block, but you also risk having to eat a full combo if you get hit by it. Again, both of these characters use this technique. Red Hood is more for the setup because I think overall Red Hood is a better character than the Joker, and the Joker gains more the looping because the main kind of goal of hard to blockables is to loop your opponent. It can be very frustrating having to constantly take this mix up, constantly get hit by it, and constantly be put back into the same situation. And you'll see if I have Joker record this. 1 second. You'll see even a character that has a pretty godlike wake up like Blue Beetle will have a bad time against this. Like I don't know why I cannot wake up. Yeah, see, like for example, that is okay because I'm hitting him at the end. That's actually okay. Maybe Blue Beetle is special. I just realized that, but most characters are not going to be able to get out of this. Believe me, I have been on the receiving end of this from the few Jokers you see online. And again, a lot of characters do not have good wake-ups in this game. Of course, the balancing for this is that, well, Red Hood maybe not so much, but Joker suffers from a pretty weak neutral when you think about it. He doesn't really have mix-ups. He basically relies on mids for his damage. However, once you get him started, it is a problem. So it's kind of difficult even to like place these types of characters on the tier list because so many of them, well, just rely on you getting hit once, and once you have the hit, it's basically over. I mean, again, there are ways out of this, but as I mentioned at the start, once you get your opponent into the corner, that's where shit starts to become problematic because in the corner, you even lose your option to back dash, which is definitely a hindrance. I mean, this is just something I don't play Joker, I just looked these setups up for this video. Like, that is really dangerous. That is as close to unblockable as you can get in this game. And in the corner, your options are a lot more limited. You have to take a lot of mix-ups anyways. So yeah, you just gotta basically hold this or pray that your wake up works. So, what did I want to get out of this video? Well, hard to blockables are really powerful, and if you think about trying out one of these characters, definitely do, because I'm not gonna lie, they are entertaining and it is kind of fun to just loop your opponent. Now, of course, again, the balance is that these characters do suffer from kind of weaker neutral and maybe weaker zoning, especially for the Joker, than some of the other members of the cast. However, you just get started on your offense and it's a bad idea. If you're fighting one of these characters, I don't even know what to tell you, because defending against hard to blockables is really difficult. That's why they're called hard to blockables. You could wake up, however, you basically gotta just pray that a backdash works or your wake up works, or that your opponent drops the combo. Of course, you could also go for one of the more drastic options, such as a super or a clash. That's always an option. And you can always push block. However, eventually you are gonna get into a bad situation. I mean, not push block, and meter burn roll, I mean. So again, definitely try it out. Try playing one of these characters. I am interested in picking the Joker up because he looks fun. It's just, I don't know how much success I'll have with him, because to be honest, his combos are tricky. But this was just basically some information on hard to blockables, and again, try one of these characters out, or just try out the technique in practice mode, because it is definitely fun to perform. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this Injustice 2 video. Gonna have more Injustice content coming, but for now, I'm gonna end it here, and I hope to see all of you next time. Goodbye.